Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Call with your host, Kerry Ramage, managing broker at Remax Elite, and Heather Holiday, your social marketing nut, talking about hottest real estate topics with a little weekly activity and motivation for the week. Good morning and
happy Monday. I hope everybody had a great weekend and took some time for themselves and maybe went to some cookouts and barbecues and pool time
and thanked a veteran.
Yes.
The important part of the weekend, right?
Yes.
Or today, I should say.
Yes.
I've got my red, white, and blue little flag.
Nice.
My inner Elizabeth Baker is coming through right now.
That's awesome.
Who always has her flag stuff going on. I was like, oh, I have to get this. It's perfect.
Yes, she does.
Today's show is, gosh, I feel like it's something I'm talking about all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's great. It's all about, standing out, being remarkable, and exceeding expectations, which I know is something we talk about often, but maybe not enough.
Right.
And I think a lot of it is, we get, when you do something every single day, it's hard to think as a consumer.
Right.
You've kind of got your agent hat on and you just go through the steps. We're crazy in every sense of the word. It's just unlike anything that we've had. And it's been a tiring couple of years.
Yes.
Sure. But I think as the market seems to be shifting a little bit, I noticed as I'm like building websites and I'm doing a search, it used to be hardly any actives. It was like all under contract, pending, whatever. And I'm starting to see like a lot more actives.
They're sitting on the market longer than a day.
Yes.
Maybe.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
In so many different ways, because, it's so easy to get burnt out in this industry. So hopefully this weekend, you got to spend some quality time for yourself, with your family, children, whatever it may be, just to kind of zone out. But I really think it's a good time as we can take some time for ourselves to really think about how can we exceed those expectations? Yeah. How can we go one further than what we're doing? And that's all about today.
Yeah. I mean, how can you get people to start talking about you in a positive way because you're going above and beyond and making their experience memorable and remarkable, or just you're being memorable and remarkable, and there's so
think
many
about that even on a business level, how far that positiveness goes when you're talking with your friends about an experience of a place you went to go dine or, anything like that. It's not even necessarily reviews, because we tend to only do reviews when we have a bad experience, but I think it's the regular talk, our friends and family, as we're talking about different places. It's those that go above and beyond. You remember,
mm-hmm.
One of those favorite quotes, the Maya Angelou, as far as people don't always remember what you do, but they remember how you made them feel.
Exactly.
And that's really where I think this is going. That would have been a good quote.
Yeah.
Good words of wisdom. But
what's funny is on Facebook yesterday, there was a big boom. And actually Peggy was like, what was that noise? And I was like, I don't know. It sounds like someone slammed the door, but it was the rocket, the sonic boom from the rocket. And one of my friends who's an agent said, how did she say it? Sometimes we need a warning so I know what it is, because about 30 different of my customers texted me to find out what that big noise was, because we become almost immune, the concierge to people's life. Yes. You know what I mean? And so when something happens, we become immune, but the people that are new here are like, what was that? You know what I mean?
And that's where it's take off that agent hat for a moment and think like a consumer.
Yeah.
And it's these little things.
Yeah, well, it's even right before we started, I was looking at a Facebook post and a person was posting, "This is my first hurricane season here. I'm worried. What do I need to start stocking up on?" And it's like,
oh, that is
that's,
coming up. That's like June 1st, right?
yep, yep,
And I do that. And I didn't even put that on here, but that is something. What we did is we kind of had asked our agents what their favorite tips were that you're not getting on the news. It's kind of
right,
like mine was I fill up all of my Tupperware with water and put it in the freezer.
yep,
So it's nice and frozen. And then if I do lose power, I can shift those over to the fridge
to keep it
keep
cool.
it cooler longer. And that way I kind of have both. But also, if you are without power for a longer time, you have clean water.
Yes.
So there's just those little things. And we have like a full list, like an Instagram and a reel and a blog. And so we have that. So it's something that I kind of repeat every year. I just basically not even really make a copy. I just change the publishing date and then I post it out. But that's also I have that on here as far as blog post, informative,
yes,
shareable content. And that's where like the social shareable content that's giving value.
correct. And it's funny. I saw not just I sold this, I sold this, I sold this. And it's funny. I saw another agent the other day make a post saying, what are you using as a template to show multiple closings at once? So I'm not doing, 15 posts of I sold, I sold, I sold, I sold. And
that was Elizabeth Baker.
It was. Was it Elizabeth Baker or was it? Yeah, I guess it was Elizabeth.
She was looking for one because she just had, she's busy. She doesn't want. She's very real.
And what I was going to say was, and you don't necessarily have to post all 15 anyway, because honestly, when you're Elizabeth Baker, her audience knows that she's doing well and she's working hard and she does a great job for her agents.
Right.
So why not? For her customers, not her agents.
Right. So, and she does very local stuff. Anything hyper local that's going on, like she's out there live, going on, whatever's going on in her neighborhood. So I think finding content that's not that fluff. Yes, you can pay that third party that's going to post blogs completely not local. For me, it's finding that hyper local. So what we're trying to do with the office is finding events, doing reels, Instagram posts, what's going on this weekend, kind of like a weekender, just stuff that's going on. Last week, there was a lot because we had the Thunder on the Beach thing and the air show. So there was a lot of different things. So that's local and shareable.
Yes.
People share that. I remember one of the most popular posts I had done was, I think the kids were little and I was bathing them, but I kept seeing people with their sunset photos. So it was like, I'm stuck in the house. Somebody, guys, go out there and take a picture and put it in the comments below. It blew up and people are sharing. And I mean, it was just absolutely ridiculous. But it's finding shareable content, making it hyper local. It's going to stand you out above all the rest that are just that fluff stuff.
Yeah. And then you become the go-to person and they'll come to you for advice or information. And then that just puts you to top of mind, which then reminds them, when it's time to either my neighbor's going to sell or I'm going to sell or my cousin's moving to town or whatever it is, you're that first phone call.
Right. It's not, I mean, you're going to get out of social what you put into it. So those are just some of ideas. The do it yourself. I mean, I know I follow all of them on Instagram, all these cool ideas, and I'm not going to do it, but I may hire someone to do like the ideas I see.
Right.
But I do, it's like what people follow. You're giving value, you're giving information. Even chiropractors, like every single business can come up with ways to give value in what you do best. And I think sometimes we overthink it, and it could just be little teeny things.
Agreed.
Another idea, and I saw this Bree, so she just started an Airbnb. So she made a little booklet. And as I'm going through it, I'm like, why aren't we doing these? And it has like the local restaurants, the local grocery stores, all of these different things. We could make a book for your different areas, even if you didn't want to have it, a bunch printed. But why not having these kind of value? Because when I moved here, I don't know where to get my nails done. I don't know where to get my hair done. I don't know where the grocery stores are. I don't know who handyman. I would need carpets. I need paint. Like, I don't know who any of these people are. Again, consumer hat. You can make a book. All the utilities, the
Yep.
electric companies, water, go
Yeah.
a little above. What a great book to be able to leave behind. If you have the seller, leave it there for them.
Right. Well,
If you
it's
have a
funny.
buyer, give it to
One of
them.
our local home inspectors gives out with their home inspection. There's a sheet of his recommended vendors that he gives, which I think is awesome that he does that. But that's kind of the idea of it, or just where's the hair place? Where's the nail place? Where's the It's funny. I recently had a customer who was looking for a hair place down in Palm Bay, so I called a friend who has good hair, who lives in Palm Bay. And she's like, but then she's like, I don't get my hair done in Palm Bay. I get my hair done in Rockland.
See, and I had the same person in Palm Bay doing my hair for 15 years.
Wow.
So it was hard. And then I guess because I was like, well, I go down there enough, I can still have her do my hair. Not a big deal. And then COVID hit. So I've just been cutting my own.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to find somebody good. And yes, I went down there. I just was supposed to get a blowout. I decided to get a trim, and that was atrocious. Like, it is so easy to get a bad haircut, even have bad nail experiences. So having that information, if you're a guy, ask a female. They know these things. And it's kind of important. But I think, again, we think as agents, not as consumers.
Yep.
Put together a book of all of your favorite restaurants. I like to know, where do they have bands on the water? Where are waterfront restaurants?
Waterfront restaurants with live music.
Yes. I mean, there's these little things that, yes, it may take a little time to put it together once, but then you have it.
And then say service is no longer good or something changes, then you still just have the template and you just need to change one person.
It's super, super easy to be able to modify that. And I think it's great to have somewhat as a booklet because it's going to be branded to you.
Mm-hmm.
But it, like a little book, they'll just put it in, one of their drawers. And it's almost like a reference book of all of this stuff. Even vets. I have huge dogs and my goodness. Luckily, there was a magnet on the fridge when I bought my house of a vet. And then I talked to the neighbor's daughter worked there. So that's been my vet now. Been here for 3 years. So it's the little things. So going above and beyond what other people are doing. It's adding value. It's giving great information.
Yep. Another great one is a seller's questionnaire for the buyers. Because the buyers always want to know who cuts your lawn, who's doing your fertilizing, who takes care of your pool. Do you have this? Do you have that? So have a template already made out. And all you have to do is give it to the seller and they can fill in that information so that if the new owner wants to use the same lawn guy, it's seamless. And then we're not scrambling at the 11th hour to find out who these people are. It's already there, written down, ready to go.
Absolutely. That was brilliant when I sold my house and I had to fill that out. And I was like, why aren't more of us doing this? What day's trash? Like, we all want to know what day our trash is.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Just these little things. Or, if you have a condo, it was a spot, where is my mailbox? I know when I was doing property management, like, that was a big deal. Like, where's my mailbox? How do I get a key for the mailbox? I know, like, apartments, you had to actually go to the post office and you needed to have something. So, it's these little things that as agents, you don't really think about, but consumer hat, go above and beyond. It's just a questionnaire. Have your sellers fill it out. That way it's there for the buyer, because it is so much easier. We had the lawn business so much easier. If they're already on the route, they already have a day, they're already coming,
they're already doing it. Right. Why start looking for someone else when there's somebody already coming to your house? As long as you're
happy. Like them at that point, they can go fishing for someone new, but it's just so much easier to continue on.
Yeah, for sure. So
definitely think of seller's questionnaire. That was a huge aha moment when I sold my house in Florida, that I was like, I've never had anybody ask me before, but that's like brilliant.
Yeah, and think of all the things, because you're right, it is. What day did the trash come? What You know,
And to even know like what days are my sprinklers on and how to, maybe if
yeah,
there's a manual, anything that we can get together for the new buyers. I mean, if there are manuals for anything, the agent just put everything in a folder, the keys, the garage door openers, like everything was put together with the questionnaire. So everything's in one spot, making it like a super smooth transition. And you can't really ask for more than that. When buyers are moving in, I mean, it's just a crazy time
yep,
between moving and packing. And I mean, it's just kind of a big deal, especially if you have kids and animals and everything like that. Let's, stop thinking as agents, more of a consumer. And what can we do? Just that little extra that will actually get people talking about you because nobody else does these things.
right, for sure. I mean, gosh, that's huge, honestly, that you could, even and then even have a spot on there for what the garage door code is, or I mean, you don't write that on in advance, but you add that maybe to the sheet at closing, and you give it to them at closing with kind of
Yeah,
that.
when they had me fill out the form, they just told me where to leave it on closing day.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep.
I think
So
some
like I
buyers
had it, but it's like on closing day, this is where you need to
is
put
where you leave it. I think
everything.
some buyers might want it in advance because they want to call the lawn guy in,
Oh,
in advance,
right.
that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I mean, gosh, there's lots of information. I mean, I didn't even think of that until you said it. The sprinklers. What days are the sprinklers going on?
Well, it's
You
kind of
know?
nice to know. So I don't know. I mean, some people may want it extra, some people may want it, but even how to change them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
even our pool, we had no idea how to use it. We had, the owner of like Pinch a Penny come out and they're like, I don't know what to
I
tell
don't
you.
know what to do either. Well, that's another thing. What time does the filter cycle? And if you have a water feature, usually that's part of the filtering of the pool. What times does that come on, and how long should it be running for? Gosh, there's
There
so
are,
much
and we
information.
just don't really think about it, but the sellers know because they live there. So
Yep.
try to grab as much information as you possibly can, just so that, anything to help that transition.
Right. Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
the
It's funny. I had a listing recently where we closed it, and we did a video to show the new owners how to start the fireplace, because we had turned off the pilot, and so we needed to show them how to start the pilot light, how to start the fireplace, and we did just a little video that we sent to the agent so that the buyers would have it when they came to the house.
But it's little things.
Yeah.
It's just stuff. I mean, as an agent, you're not going to really know how to do that. But as, somebody who's selling the house, they most like, if they've lived there, they just know those little things, but it's really going to help your buyer out. Or even if, you have the buyers, why not have the seller fill it out, leave it on the sheet, good to go.
Exactly.
So little things. Also, local content on your website. Again, it's kind of goes with that whole social. I put it on my website, then it goes to social. But providing information instead of just the fluff stuff is, we have 4th of July coming up. So of course, we have all of our days of celebration. I want to put all of that on my website. Why not have a summer camp? I mean, summer's
Oh, that's a great one. Local summer camp.
camps, north, central, south, break it down by what makes sense for you in your area. Have all this. And then of course my best blog every single year for as long as I've been doing it is the school calendar.
Yes.
I'm literally copying and pasting, making a cute little graphic and putting it on the website. Blows my mind the amount of traffic that brings in. And I don't
Well,
run
you'd think
ads.
they would just go to Brevard County Public Schools to get it, but
They are doing a search. So I share it out there. And I guess because more people are constantly on our website, like we show up on it.
right.
But I mean, that works for me. But I mean, around July and August, it'll bring in 5,000 people to our website a month. Mind blowing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
some people, it makes it hard because when you go to the county website, it's very busy and it has a ton of information. So trying to find the calendar, it's like click, 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 click. Whereas they do a search, it's taking them right to there. And just little things, but the Christmas lights are always a big thing. And usually there's other sites that will have information. And I just kind of break it down to what I think may make sense. Christmas lights, Christmas parades, all of these different things, put them together. I make them a blog or just put them on a cute little graphic. Our area is big for launches.
Yes,
I mean,
right.
put out the launch alerts.
That's
I
a
mean, I
lot of
know they're constantly
launch
changing, but
alerts.
it gives content. It's shareable. Maybe you can go to SpaceX or whatever, and they have the full calendar of all the tentative dates. Put
Right.
that out there.
I think that's awesome too. Especially, it's funny because I had some family in town recently, and a couple of launches went up. So I would text them all, the launch is coming up. Go, leave your hotel, go outside and watch, because they had never seen it before.
Mhm.
So if you're doing that for maybe your new homeowner who just moved here from wherever, Alaska, they just moved here from New York, they just moved here from Washington State. They've never seen one before. So when one's going up, just text them and say, hey, this is happening.
Yeah, and they usually don't. I know I tell everybody if I find out they're coming anywhere on the East Coast, I always tell them, like, go check it out. You're going to be there for a week. You're most likely going to see a launch. Make sure to check out when that's going to be. Get over by the beach. It's just quite the experience. And again, something that we see all the time. But for somebody who's visiting or anything like that, what an experience.
Yeah.
I mean, I do miss those the most. I probably not seeing them all the time.
For sure. And then, making sure you're keeping up with your client appreciation, however you're doing that. Is it a pop by and you're bringing by something, maybe you're bringing by, this is something I got from one of the title companies, like seeds to plant for flowers, or a big one with many of the agents are our office is the Thanksgiving pies. So your people are coming by saying hello, getting a pie for their Thanksgiving. We started with one agent who did it for years, and now I think we have like 10 who are doing it, and that's a huge hit.
Yes.
But
I know many offices, they do it office wide, and each agent has to bring in their order. And they're ordering like 300 pies, and it's just like a full day event. And
wow,
I really don't want to do that, but
yeah, I was like, don't say that out loud, because we need more than 300 pies. That would only be like 3 pies per agent. So,
well, some do, some don't. So
True.
Yeah, I don't even know how much some of these people do, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be responsible for all that. But
right.
There's tons of different things. I mean, working by your repeat business is so crucial, and so many agents never reach back out to their sphere or past clients. So I think there's such a missed opportunity for so many agents. It kind of blows my mind.
Yeah, it's true.
Kind of blows my mind.
So true.
I mean, if you thought about the amount of money it takes to acquire a new person versus keeping people who already know, like, and trust you, it's ridiculous. So mind-blowing, because there's so many missed opportunities.
Yes, for sure.
So you need to make that on your to-do list. I know we make it part of the business plan, but start, plan those out if it's annual, or the Popeyes. I have agents that do that religiously. They love it. At least once a quarter. They're touching their database, and you can get little fun stuff from the dollar store, from Oriental Trading. There's so many places to be able to get these little teeny things, and it's remarkable. It's exceeding expectations. It's something that not everybody is going to be expecting.
Right. But they'll talk about it. So that's really the weekly activity, which is, try and maybe think of something that you can bring during a pop by to leave behind, whether it's a door hanger, and you do a door hanger that has the launch schedule, or you do the door hanger that has, the utility names and numbers, because though they may not need the cable company now, they may want to change their cable company in 6 months, and it's right there on a thing. Or leave behind, like you said, Oriental Trading or the dollar store, Dollar General. They all have, all sorts of different things. I mean, I just was at a thing and I got this bracelet and it says believe, and I probably won't wear it, but it's sitting on my desk, and now I've looked at it every day, and it's just one of those things, and you just remember the person that gave it to you.
Another good thing is, I like the Target, the very first, they have like the discount.
Right there in the very front in those bins. Yes.
I mean, so to me, it's like, if you have a client, you see something that kind of reminds you of them, grab it, stop by, say hi, how are you?
Yeah.
And stop overthinking. And and just make it part of your business, exceed that, get them talking about you. If it's a little trinket or something and you have, people come over, oh, that's cute. Where did you, my agent gave it to me. And like, your agent gave it to you. You know what I mean? It's like wait, when I thought you bought this house 5 years ago. Yeah. They stopped by. Well, my agents never even emailed me after I bought the house.
Right.
I mean, you're going to get a lot of that.
Exactly. And I'll just say this. Many of you know my mom passed away a couple weeks ago, and at the wake, I actually had a few clients who came to the wake, which was just like floored, like people that I sold houses to 10 years ago, 5 years ago, but because I've kept up with them and they feel like they know me and they're part of my family. So that was nice. So that's like the power of keeping that relationship and connecting.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you have to stand out
yeah.
and do that thing. And my words of wisdoms are: exceeding expectation is where satisfaction ends and loyalty begins.
That is so true. Gosh, that's so true.
So I like that, even though I like that whole other quote, but this seems perfect.
Yeah.
For this week.
Awesome.
Lots of great shows. I think next week is all about mid-year. Can you believe mid-year business planning review?
No, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe how quick this year has flown. My 11th grader is at his last day of 11th grade right now. So he will be a senior. He has his senior pictures in a month. I got to get him a haircut. Lordy.
Oh, I'm so glad to be over high school, though. Not gonna lie. Not lying right there.
Yeah.
So until next week, make sure you bring those business plans with us for the live show, and wake up, kick ass, and repeat. See you guys next week.